Would you please welcome and make it loud to the lectern, Andrew Denton.
Thank you. Thank you for your patience today. I'd like to say I'm enormously touched to see so many jerseys here. And I'd like to extend a special welcome to some special people today. And that is the photographers and journalists from the Daily Telegraph and the Sunday Telegraph. And I say it genuinely. I'd like you to take a lot of photos today of the people that are here. And I'd like you to take them back to your bosses. Because this is the community that you are trying to sell your newspapers to. These are your readers. These are the people of Sydney that you have taken something valuable away from. This is not just about criteria, about who won what game, about for and against. This is about dads taking their sons to the football, about mums and dads at the club meeting other mums and dads, about stories passed on for 90 years in this city. It's about our community and a way of life. It's not just about sport. And if you tamper with that, you may profit, you may make profits, but you will never prosper in this city. We are here today because the people of Sydney have woken up to the vision of Super League, which is a crowd of 300 people watching Lebanon play Russia and saying, what the hell is that? It's a crowd of people watching pay TV in pubs because they haven't subscribed, seeing Auckland run around North Queensland wondering which one's going to go bankrupt first. It's all of us wondering why top-level players are going to England, because News Limited started an inflationary spiral that is ruining this code. That is the vision of Super League that we've woken up to, and we don't like it, and it's time for it to stop. I read in The Australian yesterday a journalist called Darren McDonald who said, well, the number of people that turn up here today will probably be more than turn up to South in an entire season. It's time to stop sneering News Limited and start listening. Let me tell you something. In the last season in which South Sydney played, 12,500 people average turned up to these games, about the same number as the eventual Premier's Melbourne. Stop telling lies about us. What is your agenda here? Are you interested in rugby league and its fans, or are you interested in something else? Jeff Carr, the former manager of St George, stood up in court last December and said that for South Sydney to return to rugby league would be bad for business. 3 months earlier, when St George played Souths, they had to shut the gates because they didn't have room to fit everyone in. What is their agenda? The President of Western Suburbs said yesterday that if Souths are to be readmitted, they will take legal action. Well, first of all, I'd say pay your cheerleaders before you can pay your QCs, mate. And secondly, I'd say, who are you representing? Yourselves, motivated by greed and self-interest and fear of your News Limited masters, or are you representing the fans, the people who you purport to serve? What is your agenda? Our agenda is very simple. We have stood up for a point of principle to protect what we have built and what we rightly believe is ours. And no matter whether South triumph in this fight, I want you all to know that we have already won. Because you can all go home and lie straight in bed, whereas they have to go to work tomorrow and simply lie. We have been lied about, we have been lied to, but we will not lie down. And if we have to come back this time next year, we will. However, there is good news. The tide is turning. The deader we get, the stronger we become. And when that judge said to us last Friday, sorry guys, can't find a law for you, you know who wept more than us? News Limited. This was a shocking result for them. And I'll explain why. Because a year ago, you may recall, this rally never existed, and South Sydney did not exist in their newspapers. Last Friday, that court decision was televised nationally live around the country. have already lost this battle, ladies and gentlemen. Now we have to find a way to help them retreat with honour. And think carefully about what I'm going to say. Somewhere in the next year, one of these clubs, Canberra, North Queensland, Auckland, Cronulla, one of these clubs that is only hanging on because they feed them money is going to fall over and they are not going to want to support them anymore. And when that happens, we have to be ready. We have to have the money on the table. So to all of you who are here today, and the 10 people that would like to have been here that Phil Gould referred to, be practical and think about what to do next. When we go to the NRL, which we're going to in the next couple of weeks, we're going to tell them that every one of you is a paid-up subscriber of this club. That every one of you is willing to put your hands in your pocket to support their business, rugby league. We are going to talk their talk. It is the talk of Toonside's turn, and I'm sorry, but that's what they understand. They need to be given a deal which will enable them to back off with honour. We can do that. We've displayed honour, we've displayed dignity, we've displayed patience. Now we've got to be smart. Join the club, put your money on the table, bring your friends with you. They will break because they have to. Before I go to George Biggins, I have a letter to read from the Prime Minister, John Howard, who nonetheless does occasionally break bread with Rupert Murdoch, so let's listen to what he has to say. To the people of Australia, on behalf of my government, I sincerely apologise to all Indigenous people. Oh no, sorry, I'm making that bit up. No. No, this is the actual letter. This is the actual letter. A message to South Sydney supporters. I regret that I cannot attend your gathering. Like many other followers of rugby league, I've been saddened by the divisions which have occurred in the game during recent years. I understand fully the sense of loss and exclusion which members and supporters of South Sydney, a foundation member and of the original rugby league competition in Sydney, feel at the present time. Ultimately, this matter has to be resolved between the club and its supporters and the current administrators of the game. You have my personal good wishes. Many Australians would hope that South Sydney continues as a strong and independent club within rugby league. John Howard, member for Bennelong.